What's up? It's your boy Big G coming at you again with yet another video. Thank you for liking and subscribe, and welcome with your boy through my experience and my expertise in this field of being an inmate and an officer. No need for me to go through my background. If you check my other videos, you know exactly what my MO is. You know exactly why I wear this outfit, why I can give you views that other people can't give you, and I can speak on other stuff from both an inmate, from being an inmate, locked up myself, and being a correctional officer for 10 years plus on Rikers Island. I'm going to get right to it. Y'all know why I'm here, because it's all over the news. It's all over the news. It's all over the world. All I'm trying to say, in that prison, Marcy prison upstate, that was murder. First thing I want to say is condolences, rest in peace to that young man, and condolences to his family. You know, I want to issue an apology for my actions as a correction officer, because I know that I've been in a lot of situations where I've seen inmates treated as such. I've seen inmates carried, I'm not going to show the video. It's probably going to put up a couple of images of him being hog-tied with his hands behind his back and being carried into certain places and stuff like that. I've seen that. I've done that. I participated in that. It's under a lot of different situations. So I'm not going to say it with me. I'm going to give you the real. I'm not going to sit here and cop out and just point the finger, oh, it was them, it wasn't me. In various situations, first of all, it's unjustified. It's number one. Unjustified. The beating of an inmate is unjustified. In certain situations, I've been in certain situations where inmates fighting, kicking, and doing whatever they got to do, spitting and doing whatever they got to do, that they get hog-tied like that, because that's the only way they can restrain them to transport them to wherever it is that they want, where they need to go. I don't care if you believe me or not. I'm 6'3", at the time, 280. You know what I'm saying? Technically speaking, if I did my dirt, put my hands and feet on the inmate, I didn't need a crew of people, and plus I didn't want a crew of people around, because I know that people talk, people do, overdo it. I know I can control my actions. I know how I was as a correction officer. Beating inmates, I'm just going to say, fighting inmates is part of the job. What you see in here, that's not part of the job. That's overdoing it, because, first of all, if you're fighting with an inmate, you're fighting with an inmate to restrain them, to stop them from doing something. Once that inmate is incapacitated by handcuffs, the fight over. The fight is over. Now, if you fighting and tussling, and the officers jumping the inmate, it's supposed to be allegedly get him handcuffed, get his hands handcuffed, put the flex cuffs on him, handcuff him, so he's no longer a harm to himself or anybody else. That's where all the altercations and use of force, that's what they call it as far as corrections. They call it a use of force, meaning you had to use force to restrain an inmate. Now, you've seen that inmate, all y'all seen the videos. You've seen the inmate restraint already when they brought him in. And then you've seen the abuse of authority, the kicking, the punching, and everything. Now, I'm just gonna put it out there. Because the reason why I talk, this is going to be a long video. The reason why I talk is to prevent people from going to jail, because behind the walls, cameras or not, it's an unjust thing. You get treated any kind of way you want to. I don't care how strong you are on the street, how drug related or cartel or whoever you may be. When you're inside them walls, them people, your rights a lot of times are abused. And you don't get the same rights as a civilian walking in the street. That's what I'm going to say. That's a horrific way for that young man to die. And that was straight murder. It was uncalled for. I'm trying to, from an officer's standpoint, right? Walk with me on this one, right? There's certain things that could have been done where that man, young man, to still be alive. I'm going to say this because I was a correctional officer, right? I'm sitting there, I go out, I drink, and I party with my co-workers. We super cool. As homeboys, sometimes I may date a CO's sister or get married to him. So we all family. A lot of COs are family, right? This is what I'm trying to say. I hang out with these guys, and then I go to work in the jail with these guys. So say one of my co-workers, just like you see there, is beating on that young man. It's my job, my duty, to stop my co-worker from doing that. Yeah. I know how I will be looked at if I stopped in and stopped one of my co-workers from beating on the inmate. So now if you look at the footage, any one of them, even the ones that was just walking there that wasn't dragging the young man to the chair or whatever, could have stopped at any time. Yo, I'm blowing the whistle. Stop doing this, and put a stop to it. That young man would still be alive today. So my thing is, I'm looking at is he a snitch if he stopped those officers from beating that young man to death? Right? Because he's an officer, and there are what is that called? Court mandated reporters, meaning they supposed to, in the street language, they supposed to snitch and stop it, whatever. I've been in instances where it's like, oh shit, they over there doing the stupidness. I'm going to remove myself from the area. I'm just as guilty. You remove yourself from the area so you're not on camera, so you don't have nothing to do with it, and you didn't say nothing to stop it. You just as guilty for that man's murder as the ones that you see kicking him and hitting him in the face. Now, I'm going to say this to you. Everything I'm saying is to deter people to not go to prison. You know what I'm saying? Because you can look at me, you can look at those officers, you can look at anybody, because I know there's people out there that just hate police and they got good reason to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to keep it focused on this situation, because it's a situation like that stir that feeling up in everybody. It's a lot of guys I couldn't stand, or I hated when I worked with them, because sometimes I hate working with them because they OD. Now, even with me being corrupt, I was all about getting me some money. The more uses of force and violence and inmate beating in my area, the more it's highlighted, the more, like you can say, the cops come and I can't make no money. So it was retarded, but I didn't feel with my street knowledge and the way I was, and you can verify it, because there's a lot of inmates that know me as an officer when I came through there. I didn't have to do none of that. Did I put hands and feet on inmates that time? Yeah, because everybody ain't gonna like you, and you ain't gonna be cool with everybody. And this is jail. And it happens. That right there is excessive. That right there is excessive. And I'm going to put it out there. You notice it was predominantly white officers beating on a black inmate. So don't think when you go to jail that some of these white officers don't hide behind the situation that they got the authority to put hands and feet on you. This right here is recorded. Now, thanks to the cameras and body cams and stuff like that, you catching it. Think about how many times stuff like this went on where the paperwork was swept under the table. Nobody said nothing. The parents came and they were giving a story about how their loved one life ended. Kudos to those people. I don't care what you say. Kudos to those people who got a hold of that body cam footage. Because a lot of times it get deleted, erased, disappear for some reason. Oh, because as an officer, I'm going to keep it a buck. I would rather get in trouble for not having my body cam on, which you can't fire me, right? Than to really be on the video, being seen doing something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad they were able to get that footage. But that was straight murder and uncalled for. And if you see these white officers, I'm going to say, putting foot and stomping and this, that, because for a while, inmates used to talk to me and say, being in jail is like the modern day Jim Crow and stuff like that, right? Slavery, modern day slavery. If you look at that, that's what that looked like. Let me take advantage of this guy, handcuffed, incapacitated, not a threat to nobody in that room, but we still beating and pounding on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested to see how this play out, because all of them should be charged. All of them should be losing their job. All of them should be going to jail. You know what I'm saying? All of them should possibly be put in cells with motherfuckers, with people just like that so they get the same treatment. How about that? You know what I'm saying? I'm from the hood. I witnessed from both sides of that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to ask. There is no circumstances where that is warranted. I'm going to keep, some of y'all might not like what I'm about to say because somebody might agree with it. If the guy was a child molester, if the guy did something to a woman, beat on women, beat on elderly people, or did some heinous crimes, would you think it's justifiable for them to put hands and feet on him like that? If it was black officers that were beating that guy up like that, do you think it's justifiable? It's never justifiable. Once you inmate becomes custody of the city or the state like that, you're not the judge and jury. You're not. And you can't take your personal feelings and what you're going through out on that inmate. Are you going to get the cold hard facts of why that dude kicked him while he was in the chair? Or that dude was smacking him and hitting him with a boot in the shoe? Why? Is there any kind of form of rehabilitation that you're giving to that young man? Or the inmates that get done like that that's not seen? Yeah, Big G, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I'm not going to, do you judge me? When you say, yeah, you was a part of that, this and that? I don't think I was a part of that. I've never did that. Now, you'll never know. I could be sitting up here telling a lie. I don't have to lie. Did I put hands and feet on inmates? Yes, I did in my 10-year career. Was it like that? No. Did they get flex cuffs and some of them take it out like that? Yes, they did. Well, especially if they were super violent. I'm not going to lie. Yes, they did. But I've never had an inmate handcuffed to a pipe, this, that. I don't know. Maybe I was too bravado. Maybe I was too much of a big guy, or I just never put myself in a position because there's correctional officers out there that did their whole bid without one use of force, without having to put their hands and feet on nobody for whatsoever. I know I did because I was a big guy and they used me for that reason. But that right there, I don't have no blood on my hands, no murders. I never killed no inmate, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? That right there is excessive and they need to be brought to justice ASAP. You understand what I'm saying? Whether you like it or not, I'm just going to spit the truth. I hope all those officers definitely get terminated and get some jail time behind that. Once again, rest in peace to that young man, his family. And, I just felt that one of them officers should have stepped in because there's only officers there. That was the only way he was going to be saved. You know what I'm saying? Yes, if they would have stepped in there and stopped those officers from doing that, your career would have been ruined. Your work would have got around because it's the same way they got the code in the street to hate police. They got the same code that I'm an officer, you're an officer, you're supposed to back me up regardless. You're not supposed to snitch on me. And if I'm beating the inmate's ass, if you're supposed to join in or go somewhere and mind your business. You're just as guilty if you join in, and you're just as guilty if you go away and don't say nothing. Because as an officer, it's policy. I don't even know you as an officer. I don't know you as an officer, but if I'm walking down the corridor and you're in a confrontation with an inmate, I don't care if you just yelling and screaming at the inmate and I don't know you, I can't stand you as a fellow officer. You screwed my girl, you screwed my wife, me and you got beef. On the outside, me and you fighting ourselves. But inside that jail, while you stand there, if you're standing there having an altercation with an inmate and inmate not doing what you told him, I'm supposed to just, I don't care where I'm going, I'm supposed to stop. And whoever else, other officers would stop to show force to that inmate that, listen, if you act up, we're going to jump you. That's exactly what we're trained to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, we'll stand there. I'm not going to say nothing to him. I'm going to let the officer or lead talk to, say, a lot of times it's a female that we showing support to, or it could be a male, but, I'm going to let them show lead, but I'm going to stand there so that inmate going to get the picture that if I act up, don't listen or comply, I could get jumped right now. Now, that right there was excessive force, abuse of authority, and no reason. I'm just, is it racially charged? I can't even give you 100% why that, except for it's abuse of authority. And for people like that to be doing it is they comfortable. It look like we do this all the time. We comfortable, and I haven't got away with it for a long time. Because I can't see them officers not knowing that other officers have body cams on them. So that tells me that it's happened before. Body cam footage done got erased. This one just slipped through the cracks and got through. It's your boy, Big G. You might not like it, might like what I'm saying, but I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to give it to you whether you judge me or not. It's your boy, Big G, and I hope them correctional officers are brought to justice. And I'm out.